Y'all, I am so glad I did not peak in high school. Grand Rising all, Grand Rising y'all. I'm so glad I didn't peak in high school because I realized something. So I was having a very nostalgic moment, and I was thinking about like high school and how everything played out for me in high school. Now, in high school, I was actually picked on for being super skinny. I'm still super skinny. Nothing really has changed. And I started high school in the South, and then I finished high school back in New York. So my family had got a house in Virginia. We went to school in Virginia, and everybody in Virginia is kind of thick. You know, they're not skinny like me. So I was getting picked on for being skinny. I think when I was in elementary school, I was getting picked on, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I was. And in middle school. It was always over something. It never failed. But I prominently remember being picked on the most for being super, super skinny. And when I got to high school, it just got even worse. There were a couple of girls that would make fun of me. And I remember there was this one girl, I couldn't stand her. Ugh. And she would tell me all the time. I remember I said, they was asking everybody, what do you want to be? And I was like, I wanted to be a model. And she was like, oh, you're not pretty enough. She was wrong. She was very, 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 very wrong. Every time I think about that, I'm like, yeah, bitch, because you were wrong. You stupid hoe. No, you're not pretty enough, hoe. Because I walked New York Fashion Week shows and all that, so. And then I'm thinking about this other girl that used to bully me a lot. And she was underneath all my pictures when I first started modeling, like heavy, telling me how beautiful I was. Mind you, this is the same girl that used to bully me every day. And very, very interesting. And then when I finished out high school, well, I didn't have a problem with boys. Boys didn't matter. They flocked to me. Well, wherever I was, though. That's another reason why I think bitches was mad. I don't know. But when I moved back to New York, it was such a different dichotomy because I wasn't getting picked on for being skinny. I was getting picked on now because I had, not even picked on, people just didn't like me for no reason. It was the weirdest thing. I went back to New York, people didn't like me for no reason. They told me, oh, I didn't like you at first. And I'm like, why? And they don't, oh, I don't know. Like, they would say that to me, and I'm like, bitch, I didn't do anything. Mind you, I would never even have a conversation with this girl. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to you. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And when I moved back to New York, my mom made sure I had nice clothes. I always had my nails done. But when I was in Virginia, I didn't have any of that. But I was just skinny, and everybody just made fun of me. That was the thing. Oh, you're skinny in Virginia. And I remember I had this sidekick, right? And the sidekick I had, it was like that flip sidekick. And when it was in the early 2000s, maybe 2006, 7, I don't fucking know. But yeah, I had a purple one. That shit was fly as fuck. People in Virginia was trying to make fun of me for that. Meanwhile, it was so new, they didn't even know what it was. They had these old smartphones. It was so funny. Now, when I look back, this is such a nostalgic moment. When I look back and I think about this shit, I'm like, wow, no, because they was really making fun of me for having a better phone. And they was using these old smartphones that still had a little screen. They was like a brick, okay? And I had the newer version. They was like, oh, you got this phone? What kind of phone is this? Meanwhile, it was touchscreen and had a keypad. When I moved back to New York, guess what? I was that bitch because I had a sidekick. That was crazy. So then I went from, it was such a weird, my childhood was so weird because I went from being picked on and bullied in Virginia to going to New York. And it was like, I wasn't picked on for being skinny anymore. I was picked on, and bitches didn't like me for no reason. I barely had friends. I was very to myself. And when I did have friends, that shit blew up in my face. That's why I don't like cliques of more than 2 or 3. Because I did a clique of 4 and it was a disaster. And everybody was talking about each other. And I was the only one questioning it. And everybody was mad. That's why I got kicked out of the group. Nah, high school was funny. I'm just saying, I'm so glad I did not peak in high school. Because I see these bitches now. Washed up. Tired. Overweight, a mess. Don't peak in high school, and be glad if you didn't peak in high school and you weren't popular in high school. That's good. It's really good.